Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of your hosts here, and today I just want to do a little bit of a market analysis on altcoins. I wasn't supposed to be going through Bitcoin, but I will go through a little bit of Bitcoin as well because we are seeing Bitcoin have a pullback after our live from earlier today. So I will just cover that ever so slightly again. But basically, what I want to look at first is what's happening with the NASDAQ and what is going on with the S&P as of right now. So taking a look at the NASDAQ, we can see that we are having a bit of a pullback. We did post this over on Twitter as well. As you can see here, US markets open, risk on assets not looking too good ahead of tomorrow's CPI print. And we can see that very clearly on the chart. So the NASDAQ is having a bit of a pullback and the S&P is also having a pullback. And this is reflecting on the crypto market as well. Hello, Akaneshi. How are you today? We did see you in the live earlier today as well, so it's good to see you back here as well. But as I was saying, we are seeing that reflect in the crypto market as well. And we can see that Bitcoin has had a little dip below 23,000. And I did say, you know, if we were going to break this previous support, which above, and if we did break that, we were most likely going to come down and test this support level here. There is a possibility we could still, you know, have a retest of this and use this as resistance, then get a rejection. But the likelihood of it for me is that we are going to come down to this support level, this blue support level around here. Previously, you know, it has been support and resistance. So that is why I'm looking at this as the next sort of level, as next level of support. Indicators are indicating there is still some room towards the downside, so that's why I think, you know, we could hit this target. There could be a little retest of the resistance before we come back down, but I do think this is sort of the next target for Bitcoin between the $22,500 level approximately and $22,700 level approximately. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. We do also have this pattern here, this ascending triangle, or this rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. We can call it a rising wedge if we draw the line a little bit like that. But as of right now, I'm just going to call it an ascending triangle. And there is a possibility that we could break towards the downside of this ascending triangle. If you didn't watch the live earlier, make sure you go and watch that back. I go through this a little bit more. But basically, what I think is going to happen is that if we do break to the downside here, the next level that we're looking at is around the $21,400 level. If we break that, then the $19,300 level. Looking at the indicators, there is still room towards the downside, and we're also seeing a bearish divergence. So we're getting momentum towards the downside on this RSI, as you can see here. And on the price action chart, we are in fact getting price action towards the upside. So if I just make that a little bit clearer for you in red, as you can see, we're getting that price action towards the upside on the RSI. We're getting that momentum towards the downside, textbook bearish divergence. So that's why I think that we could break towards the downside of this support level. But again, there is always a bullish scenario, and there is, you know, this ascending triangle is a bullish pattern. So if we did find support along here, and we did come up and retest this resistance, break above that resistance, then that's very, very bullish for Bitcoin. And that's a scenario I would like to see play out. But it's not all bad if we do break towards the downside, because obviously we can continue to dollar cost average into our dollar cost average our portfolios down, and yeah, get some better entries at these lower prices. I wouldn't mind if it did come down to 20,000. I don't know about yourselves. It's just more buying opportunities for me if it does come down to those levels. But that's sort of all I've got for you for Bitcoin. The main sort of topic for today was altcoins, and I want to run through some altcoins and some potential trades as well. So what I'm looking at here for Solana is a trade that could play out either today or tomorrow, I think personally. And looking at this is a triangle pattern. We can see lots of resistance. This is on the 12-hour, just to make you aware. We can see lots of resistance at the top, and we can see lots of support at the bottom as well. And as of right now, we are testing that support level as major support. If we can hold this level, the likelihood of it is that we could come back up and test the resistance, but we are very, very squeezed into this triangle here. And what we need to do is look at the indicators. Now, the indicators are sitting quite neutral. There's more room towards the downside, but there is a possibility we could flip cross section towards the upside. So as of right now, I'm a bit unsure of where this trade could go, but basically if we do break towards the downside of this support level here, then for me that would be a pretty good shorting opportunity. Obviously we want to see is there, we want to see a lot of volume, then we want to see if we can get a retest of the resistance as resistance, and then get that confirmed rejection from the resistance. The other scenario is if we come and test this resistance here and we break towards the upside of this with volume, then we get a pullback, testing it as support, and then we get the nice bounce towards the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for Solana. I'll go short if we break towards the downside, but I'll go long if we break towards the upside. We just got to be aware as well, we do have this bearish flag here that has formed on the daily Solana chart. So this bottom trend line that you can see along here is going to act as support as well, because you can see lots of support along this level previously. So it is going to be a major support level, and you know, it's not something that we can just throw off the table. So this sort of $37 to $38 level is going to act as support as well if we do break towards the downside. So just be aware of that as well. If we do break that though, you know, there could be a lot more downside for Solana, but we will get to that stage when, you know, if we get down there. So that's sort of what I got for Solana. Taking a look at DOT. For some reason today my charts are taking a while to load, but here we go. Basically what happened with DOT is that we were testing this major previous support and previous resistance level. As of right now, I can change this level back into a support level because we are now above it and we are actually retesting it. So you can see we got a nice break towards the upside here, but right now we are retesting that. And what we want to be looking at is the indicators. Now the indicators are indicating to me that we are oversold, overextended, overbought. This is indicating to me that we could have a breakout here. You know, we could break towards the downside of this support level and turn it back into a resistance level. But what I'm looking at for Polkadot in the future is to come up to this much larger sort of time frame downtrending resistance line, which is this line here, and that's sort of where I want to be executing a big trade for Polkadot if we do break above this resistance, because as you can see, it's been major resistance, respected very, very well. So if we can come and test this again, get the break towards the upside, then I'll be taking out a pretty big trade on Polkadot, on DOT. But as of right now, we just need to hold this sort of shorter term support level before we can, you know, start thinking about that. But we want to hold this and come and test this resistance up here. That's sort of what I'm waiting for DOT. So that's all I've got for you there. Moving on quickly to Avalanche. Avalanche is looking quite good. I did give you a trade signal on this as well. And taking a look at this just on the dailies to start off with, we can see that we've got this horizontal line along here, the $21 level. This is major support and major resistance as well. And this dates back to, I think it dates back to all the way back in 2021 as well. Yes, it does. So we've used it as resistance back then and supports back then as well. So that is a crucial level, this $21 level for Avalanche. We also do have this bearish flag as well on this Avalanche chart as well, this daily chart, this AVAX chart. So we do just have to be aware of that. We did, in fact, break towards the upside of a pattern that I gave you, which was an ascending triangle. So we broke towards the upside and we did get the nice retest. Unfortunately, the retest didn't reset the indicators. So I do think there's going to be another retest. But you can see here, we got the clear break towards the upside. Then we got the retest of that support as of right here. So if I zoom in for you right here, you can see that we got the breakout. Then we got the retest of the support. That retest of the support and the bounce. There's lots of volume in here that you can see. We had a big spike in volume, so that is very good, confirming that breakout. And we would have looked to get in around this sort of $26 level there. But right now, what I'm anticipating for Avalanche is a pullback back to that previous resistance, now support level, because the indicators got so very overextended. A pullback is sort of needed, and it's a healthy pullback. It's nothing that's going to be catastrophic. I don't think. I think it's going to be a healthy pullback back to this $25 level, and then we can hopefully get that bounce from that support level, and then we can continue up to that price target around $42. So that's what I'm waiting for Avalanche right now. What happens though while we are seeing this rejection is because we came up to this resistance at the top of the bearish flag. You can see lots of resistance up here previously. So it was always going to be a resistance level, and we did get a rejection from that level, but also because the indicators were in that overextended region. But now we are getting the indicators coming back down. They are resetting, and hopefully they can reset and get a nice bounce off this level. Then that's another great level to get into an Avalanche trade, an Avalanche long position. I know that if we do come back down to these levels and the indicators reset, I will be getting into a position on Avalanche. Near protocol, taking a look at that. This was another one that did have a nice clean breakout. So what we saw was a nice clean break to the upside of this resistance level. I will just change that to resistance so you understand what it is. So this level here, so it's been previous support, but also major previous resistance, and we did have this sort of triangle pattern form as well. But we got a nice clean break towards the upside with lots of volume. You can see this big spike in volume down here, and then we got the retest. We saw this pullback here back to this previous resistance, which was going to act as support. It did act as support. We got the nice bounce, and then we've seen some nice price action towards the upside. Right now, we are seeing a bit of a pullback for near protocol. That's okay because we are very overextended on these indicators. So I am expecting to see that pullback. We also did form a bearish divergence as well. So you can see right here, we do have that price action towards the upside. And then on the RSI indicator, you can see that we are having that momentum towards the downside right here. So that is, again, a textbook bearish divergence. And we've seen these play out on near protocol, twice in the past couple of weeks. So this is something that I'm going to be taking into consideration. We could have entered a nice short position on this, but I did miss this, unfortunately. So around that $5.4 level, could have entered a short position and waited for the indicators to reset before taking profits. That's what I would have done, but unfortunately I did miss that trade myself. So let's take a look at THETA. But yeah, for near protocol, I am expecting it to come down and potentially test this support level down here. Indicators resetting before we can get another bounce towards the upside. THETA is one that I am really excited about. This is a trade I'm really excited to get into. Hopefully, this is a really good range that THETA was trading within. You can see here, this range was perfectly respected. And we got a nice break towards the upside. We got a bit of volume, not too much volume, but what we want to see now is this decrease in volume as we do get that retest, and we want the indicators to reset. The indicators are coming down slightly, not as much as I would like them to. But again, we've had this bearish divergence here, only a very slight bearish divergence. You can see higher highs here. And on the RSI, you can see we've had a slight momentum towards the downside. It's only a very small bearish divergence, but it is initially a bearish divergence. Now, we are getting very close. And we came very close. If we have a look, we just missed it by a few cents, but we are very close to this resistance level, support level here, which was previous major resistance, as you can see. So hopefully we can hold this level. It'll be great if we can hold this level because we've respected it so well as resistance. It would be good to respect it as support. And as you can see, we are very close to that level. So I'll keep you updated over on Twitter. If you don't follow us over on Twitter, make sure you follow us and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss the charts that I am going to be posting, like this THETA one. If we do get supported nicely, I will enter a small long position on THETA. Then I will wait for the bounce, and then I'll increase that, increase the size of that position, because we do have a target at around $2. So that will be a nice move towards the upside. That will be an approximate sort of 36%, 37% move towards the upside if we can get this trade nicely executed. So that's what I'll be looking for. Of course, if we do break towards the downside of this support level here, that will be a fake out, and we will most likely come back and trade within this range here. So that's what I'm waiting for on THETA. Remember, follow us on Twitter. I will keep you updated over on there. Moving on quickly to Rose. I did mention Rose in today's earlier video, so I will just go over it quickly. But basically what I'm looking at is a 0.086 level, this horizontal yellow line here. We've used it as resistance really nicely. We've broken above it, which is great. We've had a bit of volume, as you can see down here. But what I'm expecting now is a pullback back to this level. Indicators are very overextended. So I do think we're not getting a bearish divergence, but the indicators are very overextended. So I am expecting to have a pullback to around this this yellow horizontal line here at the 0.086 level. So watch out for that. That's another great entry if we do get down to this level here. This will be a great entry if the indicators are reset, and we can also increase the position when we get that sort of confirmed bounce as well. Moving on to MATIC. MATIC has been struggling to get above the 0.96 level, so I haven't entered any trades for MATIC as of right now. We are not forming any sort of divergence. No, we're not. So yeah, a bit of a slow one for MATIC. We're not getting it. We're finding it hard to get above that 0.96 level. This yellow horizontal line here, but once we do get above it, I think it's going to be it will be very bullish for MATIC, and I think that we can come up to this $0.13 level. That'll be great. That'll be great trade if we can do that, but we are struggling, as I said, to get above it, this resistance level right here. So once we get above it, then we can start talking about a trade, but as of right now, we are struggling to get above that level. Looking at Chainlink, I did give you a signal on this as well. We did break towards the upside of this resistance level here. You can see that we broke this very prominent resistance level. Nice break towards the upside here. Bit of volume, not a lot. Then we got a decrease in volume coming back and testing this support level here. And then we got a bit of volume as we got that confirmed bounce towards the upside. So that was sort of a good trade to get into around this support level. And I did tell you that I was expecting the price to come up to around this $9.2 level as the first TP. We didn't quite make that level. There is still possibility that we could make that level, but the indicators are very overextended. So I do think we are going to have a bit of a pullback, and we were a few cent off that price target, that first TP. So it's not too bad, but it is, it does show you these support levels, they do really work, and this was a great trade. We've got the breakout, we've got the retest of this support level. It didn't retest the previous resistance, this upper trending line here, but it was good enough for me, this support level here, because we've used this as major resistance before. It was always going to be a very important support level because we were above it. So that's what I've got for Chainlink. I am expecting a bit of a pullback, potentially back to this support level here, before we do see any more price action towards the upside. Actually, quickly zooming out, we do have this very important and longer term down trending resistance level here. You can see lots of resistance here. We came very close to testing it here, but we didn't quite make it. So we are going to come and test this resistance in the coming weeks. If we do break above it, then again, I'll be getting into a pretty substantial long position with Chainlink, because as you can see, it's been major resistance, and this is this is that downtrend. This is the trend. We are in a downtrend, a daily downtrend. So hopefully, once we get above here, we can break that daily downtrend and we can start seeing some nice movement towards the upside. XRP, let's see if I've got anything on that. Nothing's really happened with XRP again. We are just struggling to get above this resistance level here. Previous support, as you can see, but yeah, we're using it as very, very strong resistance, and we are, it looks like we are going to get another rejection from this level, potentially bringing us back down to this support level at the bottom of the bearish flag. So yeah, nothing too exciting for XRP. Looking at VET, looking at VeChain, we did break towards the upside of this resistance level here, these two yellow lines that you can see here. Very, very nice break towards the upside. We did get a retest as well. You can see the wick retest. Oh, we can see the wick retest right here. Then we got the bounce, and we saw the price come up. I did say that I think that we would come up to the 0.034 level. Unfortunately, we didn't quite make that level. There was a lot of there's a lot of resistance up here as well. This whole area is pretty strong resistance, because you can see right here there was a lot of volatility and a lot of trading between sort of the 0.029 level and the 0.033 level. So that's probably why we are getting that rejection from here. Indicators, again, they are overextended, and we are getting a very, very slight bearish divergence. So you can see only very slightly price action towards the upside here, and momentum towards the downside on the RSI. So I think we are going to get an indicator reset. The price is going to come down, and hopefully, if we can come back down to this level, it'll be a nice entry point for us. Enter a little long position on this, maybe only just a spot, because this is such a low market cap coin. So maybe just a spot long position here. So we fill up with some VeChain around here. Then once we get that confirmed bounce, then we can fill up even more and maybe take some profits around the 0.034 level. So that's what I'll be looking at for VeChain as of right now. But yeah, that's sort of all I've got for you. Taking a quick look at Bitcoin before we go. We're just above that $23,000 level. It does look like we could come back down to this support level, but again, indicators are sort of getting into that oversold vicinity, so maybe a retest of the resistance before we come back down. But yeah, I'm just going to be keeping you updated on this chart here, mainly because, if we do break towards the downside here and we do come down to the $21,400 level, then the altcoins are going to get a much, much bigger hit. And again, if we come down to the $19,300 level, the altcoins are going to get an even bigger hit. So we do just have to be aware of that if you are trading altcoins. So hopefully Bitcoin can hold this as support today. I did tell you in earlier's video, in the video, that I didn't expect it to break today. I think maybe tomorrow we could see the break towards the downside, depending on what the CPI data is. If the market reacts bearishly, we are most likely going to get a break towards the downside. If the market reacts bullishly, then we'll find nice support, and then we will come up and test this resistance up here, and then potentially get the break towards the upside in the coming days for Bitcoin. So yeah, this is a chart that we really need to be keeping an eye on at the moment. Quickly, we will take a look at the dominance. I told you this in earlier's video as well. This support level is a crucial level. If we get down to this support level and we break it, I think there's going to be a massive altcoin season. And that's where I'll shift the majority of my portfolio from Bitcoin into some altcoins, taking that risk. Because if we do break this support, I think we're going to have a massive altcoin season. There's no other way to put it, really. But yeah, I do think if we come down in the next coming weeks, though, I do think we are going to find support and maybe have a little push towards the upside. But then, yeah, I do think sometime in the future we are going to break this support level. And if we break that, massive altcoin season, and that's where I'll shift my portfolio from Bitcoin to the altcoins to sort of make as much get as much returns as I can. That's the goal anyway. So that's sort of all I've got for you today. Again, make sure you head over to Twitter, give our Twitter a follow. And if you did enjoy this little market update, then please smash that like button. It does really help us out, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see tomorrow's live, where we will be going live for the CPI data. So make sure you stick around for that. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.